and welcome to AFCON Daily on United and Everything Football. We just witnessed a very beautiful game between the Ivory Coast and Senegal. The defending champions of the Africa Cup of Nations have been knocked out of the competition. Yes, that is AFCON football. We've warned you, watching us, that the group stages is always different from the knockout stage. They are two separate competitions. Ivory Coast had to qualify on the last day of the group stages. They needed a favor from Morocco before they could qualify, and Morocco did them that favor. Guess what? They knocked out the defending champions out of the competition. I'm joined by a man who did an analysis. It's in a local dialect, so I don't know how best I could put it out there, but he was spot on his analysis earlier on before the game. His name is Fifi Manfred. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll speak to Fifi and then all right, thank you very much. Welcome from that quick break. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell every single time. Help us grow this community. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time with us. It's your first time. You can go back to watch our previous content. Very solid analysis with everyone here. Fifi, thanks for joining us once again. The boys are calling you all sorts of names. Like, hey, he got it spot on. I mean, what did you see? Let's look at the game. Let's go straight. I won't ask any pleasantries. What did you see?
Prophet Uja. So Kwame, I saw two things. I saw the fact that, I mean, you see, sometimes in competitions when a team has tried to play, then they don't get a result, and just by virtue of something happens and they come back. Me, I believe in a lot of like that in life. Things don't just happen.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Ivorians could come back from the death just by virtue of the Moroccans beating the Zambians, I knew that something could happen. And also, I had watched the Senegalese team. It was a very, very good technical midfield. I mean, Papi Matassa, Lamine Camara, Gaye, these are excellent technical midfielders. But I've also seen how the Ivorians have been very physical in all of their games that they played. They are just lacked the small spark in their team. So I knew that was going to be technical midfield versus physical midfield. But in the physical midfield of Fofana and then Sangare, and then I thought that Kessie was going to start. Had seen two games that they had lost, and they knew that this time they had to turn it around. And I knew that they were going to overrun this young midfield of Papi Matassa and Lamine Camara. But I think that I need to give a lot of credits to the coach of the Ivorian national team for thinking through the box and dropping Frankie Anikesi, then bringing in Jean-Michel Seri, experienced CM, control the game on the ball. And I think that is what they lacked in the first two games when they played against Nigeria and then, of course, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea. This time they had a dictator, they had a tempo controller in the middle of the park. Then they had Sheko Fofana picking up the ball from deep areas, carrying it through, dictating the pace of the game, making things happen from deep. So it was an excellent lineup from the Ivorians, and just they were stung by just the first 4 minutes by that very good goal from Diallo. Yeah. Then from there they knew that they need to fight for something. Yeah. They kept on pushing. Sangare didn't have the best game, but in the middle of the park, it was an exceptional job from Fofana, and then of course Jean-Michel Seri. He did some brilliant job and off the ball. Again, at the center back, Evan Ndika was there, and I knew that once Captain Serge Aurier is at the back, he also add some experience to the team, and they were going to push on. So I knew that physically the Ivorians were going to win the battle. And then it's not as if they don't have any technical quality. They have the technical quality. I'll base the Senegalese were more technical. And if you have technical quality and have physical quality, and you have been bruised by the humiliation of the group stage, I expected that the Ivorians should go for it. And then that's why I went in bold and I said, hey, you know what?
You think the Ivorians, but there's one thing that really caught me. What do you think made the Senegalese sit back a lot in this game? Because if you look at the first 3 games that they had played, they had been very dominant on the ball. They were rather on the front foot, but it looks like this game, from how I saw it, they were very much always in their shape, trying to protect their shape in their own half. I don't know if you watched it carefully. The chances that they created, the Ivorians created in the first half, came from those half space crosses that Sergio and I think Diakite tried that combination. That was the chances that they limited. By the second half, the Ivorians decided to have a go at them, try other means of attacking, and they were able to create chances. I mean, the substitution by MS5 was spot on. Why do you think the Senegalese sat in their shape throughout the game?
I think that the Ivorians just didn't give them time to breathe. So they are played in games consistently where the Senegalese were dominant, like you said, and that's excellent stuff. And the observation from you, of course, was also excellent. But in this game, the Ivorians just didn't give them the time to breathe. You saw in the middle of the park and all across the field, anytime that they lose the ball, they will press very high. And I understood that on the ball, Diakite wasn't the best midfield in terms of chance creating for the Ivorian team. But in terms of pressing and counter pressing, he had a huge battle with Krypton Diata on that way. He was consistently when he was pushing him. They lose the ball, they go and they counter press. They don't stop. Fofana will be leading the charge. And Fofana at some point in time was everywhere on the field of play. They pushed out, they make it aggressive for them. Now, it was just that, yes, they had the fans in the stadium. They were also very aggressive. They played on the front foot. They had energies, and then that stride from Sangare and then Fofana in the middle of the park. Then immediately they got the ball. They were comfortable enough to receive those balls in the half space. And most of the times it went to Seri and Fofana, Seri, Sangare, Seri, Fofana. And they were close at every point in time to exchange the passes and then play forward. I just think that the game that everyone came to play today was the best version. And I consistently believe that they had the quality to play this kind of football, to push it, to be very aggressive.
I remember so well. I mean, in our first AFCON daily with you, you mentioned the quality of that midfield and how you talked about the coach who had left and his approach and trying to play like the French national team. I mean, we are seeing more of it now, playing more like a tournament side, trying their very best to take hold of the games and take hold of midfield. It's a very balanced midfield. You see what the likes of, like you rightly mentioned, Jean-Michel Seri did and all of that. I mean, it was great. It was great. I mean, it was good seeing them and all of that. But I just want us to shift quickly so that's it. So the Senegalese are out. Since 2010, no defending champion has gone past the round of 16, and that's how it's ended for the Senegalese. But Fifi, let's quickly finish this one quickly. The Moroccans will be in action against South Africa tomorrow. Another favorite of the competition. I mean, it's a game a lot of people are looking forward to. Hugo Bruce, former champion, he won it not too long ago with Cameroon. What are we expecting quickly in this game?
Well, Kwame, if you are looking at this game that Morocco and South Africa are going to play, I'm looking at it in twofold. So first of all, if you look at the Moroccans, they have been very good in this tournament, and of course, from the World Cup up till now. But they are going to play against a different South African team. So the Moroccans have consistently struggled when a team puts the ball on the ground and then know how to play the ball. The South Africans are good on the ball. They know how to play the ball. They know how to open up passing lanes. They know how to play out from the back. They know how to force issues. The only issue I have with the South African team is just the other part of the game when you have to dig in. And when they met the Malians, that's where they failed. When they had to stick and stay together for long parts of the games and then dig in and get results, they couldn't do that. The Moroccans are expert at that. They did it against Spain. They did it against Portugal in the World Cup. They've done it against the DRC, where the DRC were on ascendancy, created chance against them. They stuck together, they dug in, they got the results, and then they were able to qualify. So it's just one team that knows how to dig in, the other team that knows how to play a very good football, and then they are coming next to each other. I mean, if you look at exactly how the Moroccans play, when they set up in that very good 4-2-3-1, you know that somebody like Amala is an excellent player. Then you have Adedin and Louis, also excellent on the ball, on the half spaces. When you go and you sit in a low block and you see you are going to make it very difficult for them to break them down, then they form those wide triangles with Hakim Ziyech and Louis and then Amala in those areas. And we've also seen that Sofiane Amrabat has been very, very good in this competition, where he has been that engine for the Moroccan midfield in the middle of the park. switching passes, making sure that he's the engine of the team. Everything going to him has been excellent. But again, the bigger question is it's with South Africa.
Yeah.
If South Africa will believe in their way of playing, if they will be patient, if they will string the passes together, if they will find places in between the lines and then try to hit the Moroccans, I'm very, very sure that they will get a job done against the Moroccans. It's a tough game, it's a tough call, but the South Africans just have one job: be patient. Don't mess it up against like you did against the Malians. If you watch the Malians second half, South Africans stuck in there. The mistake they did was that they consistently made mistakes trying to pull out from the back, and then the Malians forced them into wide areas. They pressed them, they won the ball from there, and then they made things happen against them. I think that this, regardless of how good the South Africans will be, this may be just a step too further for them. The Moroccans will have enough to do with the South Africans too.
Beefy Manfred, thank you very, very much for joining us on AFCON Daily once again. It's always a pleasure to have you. I mean, your tactical brains. It's superb. It's really enjoy you. I'm sure that US are always enjoying you every single time you join us on this AFCON Daily. As usual, remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for joining us. See you tomorrow after the game. We'll do some analysis of everything that's happening in the round of 16. Please stick and stay. We'll be back. Have a great time.